Yeah, just one thing business-wise before you guys get a chance to talk to Jalen. We mentioned it before, but we're really close to breaking an all-time program record for sold season tickets before the season ever starts. We're literally down to less than 100 left. I think it's about 55 tickets or so just a few minutes ago. If we get to that, it puts us right below 9,000, which is an all-time program record. You think about the good teams, good coaches, good players, amazing fan base we have here. For us to be in this conversation before we ever play a game is humbling. We're super appreciative of the support we've had thus far. Side note, too, just encourage people to buy season tickets this season for so many reasons. I think the team will end up being worthy of your money and time, but also as you look into the future, it just gives you the best chance to be a season ticket holder to get tickets year two in the brand new Moody if you're a current season ticket holder. And I've been told by administration, I don't know all the ins and outs, but simply stated, you got to be a season ticket holder this last year in the Irwin Center to be in those early conversations to potentially get them in the Moody Center. So I want to make sure the fan base has that information. I'm proud to be this guy's coach, Jalen. Have never really enjoyed the recruiting process more than we did when we recruited Jalen because it was so unique. You know, in the COVID-19, we did a lot of our stuff on the phone and Zoom, and I don't think the young guy really even had an official visit. So it's more of a relationship between me and him. I don't want to speak for him, but we have a big plans for Jalen. Certainly long-term future, it's easy to see how special he could be, but there's a major opportunity for him on this year's team too, and he'll have the chance to compete for playing time this year as well.
Take questions for Jalen first, please. Joe in front, please.
Jalen, with the way this team's built, as it turns out, you kind of know that guy right there longer than anybody else. So why did you originally commit to him, and then why was it the next decision to go with him to Texas?
Really, it was just always since day one they told me about the process, and they really just built a relationship with me outside of basketball. Like they were worried about me as a person and on the court. So they never really told me. I was just always coached. Even when before I committed, they always coached me and told me stuff I need to work on in games and stuff like that, which I loved about that. And I mean, we share the same mindset, work ethic, love the gym, being in the gym, all that.
Keenan here at Carla.
Hey Jalen, so you're a freshman on a very experienced team, yet you're already getting credit as one of the elite players. So how do you handle those kinds of expectations?
Really, I don't really think about stuff like that. You know, just think about the day-to-day process and getting better. Being around these guys every single day is just making me better, and really just not worried about it. Staying tunnel vision.
Chris, the camera roll, please.
Kind of piggybacking on that, you are just a freshman with such an old, experienced team. How is that dynamic with you? How are you trying to adjust and learn from these guys but still be your own guy? Like, what's it like being like the one young guy with such a veteran team?
Really just following their lead, whatever they do, just listen to everything they say, be coachable about it, and just become a better player just off their experiences, and it's helping me a lot.
Terry on the far right.
Jalen, good afternoon. So, what are your superpowers? What do you do really well? How do you see yourself contributing to this team?
My superpowers. I don't really think I have superpowers. I think I'm just blessed to be able to play this game of basketball. Really, everything. I feel like I need to work on everything in my game, keep improving and all that. But yeah, I really don't feel like I have
What do you think
superpowers.
you do best, or what do you like? I mean, is it your outside shot? Is it dunking? Is it rebound?
I like to score the ball. I love to score the ball.
Brian in front.
Yeah, just wanted to build on what Chris asked you about. I mean, you're in such a unique situation of all these older guys coming from other places that have experiences. Who's taking you under their wing, and who have you said, I want to be like that guy, or I want to do that?
Really, everybody's taking me under their wing, but especially Brock Cunningham, Avery Benson, Timmy Allen, all three of those guys taking me under their wing. Jace, Courtney, everybody, really everybody. So I just follow their lead, like I said.
Been the best thing you've learned about playing college basketball so far, or the most important thing maybe?
Most important, playing off 2 feet. Playing off 2 feet in high school, I got a lot of charges playing off one, so definitely playing off 2 feet.
Jeff in front right.
Jalen, what's the process been like? You know, kind of said Coach Beard talked about the process, but breaks and the grind, everything from like nutrition, sleep, weights to being on the court. How's that whole process going for you since you got here?
In the beginning, it was really hard, but from now where I'm at now, it's kind of smoothing out. Really just, like I said, following these guys, and what the veterans do, I do. So it's kind of just like following the leader type deal.
Chris, another in the back.
You've got the experience, you've had those close scrimmages, you had that scrimmage on Monday. What do you think it's going to be like come Tuesday when it's the real deal, ball's tipping off, you're playing your first real college basketball season?
It's going to be definitely an experience. I mean, I feel like every day we're pushed in practice, so it's going to be the same thing. I mean, playing against possible All-Americans every single day, so like, there's nothing else you can get prepared for than that. So really just keep playing hard, going there ready whenever my name's called and stuff like that.
Travis in the back left.
Jalen, how did you end up as a basketball player? There's a lot of football in the family, right?
Yes. So I played football all the way up to my 7th grade year, and I just got taller and taller and taller. And you know, as a wide receiver, they would just go straight for knees. So and then I remember playing my first basketball game, maybe 4th or 5th grade, and I was like, dang, I'm taller than all these dudes. Like, this is easy. So and then I just fell in love with it, and I used to go to the rec center every single day. Like, my parents used to make me stay out of the rec center. I had to go home and read a book. Like, so I just fell in love with it that way, probably through the rec center.
Terry on far right.
Jalen, University of Texas has this motto, what starts here changes the world. So if you think about your future, when you think big, how do you see yourself changing the world? What are some of the things you do?
I would definitely still want to stay in basketball. So my goal is to give back to the community. Whatever I get out of basketball, I want to give my knowledge back to the community. Go back to Allen and Plano, Texas, and just give back to them rec centers that I grew up in. I want to build my own rec center. That's one of my goals one day, and just give back to the kids and give them the same love I have for the game.
Christina in front.
Hey Jalen, so do you think you kind of carry a chip on your shoulder from like just being kind of under the radar for most of your high school career?
Yes, I definitely do. I feel like I was underrated my whole life. I still feel like I'm underrated. I treat myself every day like I'm a zero star, like I have everything to prove to myself. And really just, yeah, I do have a chip on my shoulder, and I'm ready to prove it every day.
Anything else for Jalen? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Hey,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're good, boss.
Thank y'all.
Raise your hands for questions for Coach, please. Brian in front.
Yeah, Chris, I wanted to ask you about the starting Tuesday. I know you don't think in these terms. Coaches are always thinking in positive terms. But aside from injuries and just shots not going in, what could derail this?
Oh, that's a question every coach thinks about all the time. You know, you put a team together, you think about your strengths, you think about your weaknesses, you think about your weapons, and you think about your threats. So with us, you know, there's some concern. I mean, the first is just inexperience playing together. Yes, we're an experienced group of players. You put us on a roster, it looks pretty good, but we've never played together. And I mean, even the other night playing against Coach Wacker's Texas Lutheran team, there's just, you know, some times where guys think they're in spots and they're not. There's a value in basketball playing together. You see it all the time, you know, like took Jordan and Scotty, and those got years to get past the Pistons, and then Steph and them went through their journeys. And I mean, so it's like, you know, I think we've done this 7 or 8 times at different jobs, and we've executed it a couple times year one, but more times than not, year one is tough. So we don't worry about it, but we do think about it, and we try to combat it. Like how are we going to like get experience? So probably scrimmaging a little bit more with this team in practice than we ever have. Just having different kind of conversations with players that we maybe haven't had in the past. But that's something is a concern of mine. Just inexperience playing together. That would be one example of probably several.
Joe in front, please.
Kind of like what I asked Jalen, is your long-standing relationship with him, even though he's a freshman, kind of help instill what you want the rest of the team to be about, just because you've known him for so long and going back to, you know,
Yeah, I was listening to you. What was the question? I'm with you.
Even though Jalen's a freshman, does your relationship with him that goes back several years, even though he's a freshman, help him and be able to, set examples for others who may have other years of college basketball but not as much experience with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I can't speak for Jalen, but it's like when we get here, everybody wants to talk to Avery Benson because Avery's been through practices and games, good times, bad times, the whole deal. I think Jalen was a source of information too for a lot of people, just relationships. What's Fireball really like? Is Yurk always in a good mood like this? What's Coach like after a tough time? Because even though I haven't coached Jalen, he was a part of our journey. I really enjoy it when the players sign early because you get to be a part of their journey and they're part of our journey. So talked to Jalen a lot last year during his season and our season. So even though I've never coached him, we did have a relationship. Obviously, we've known each other for a while.
Terry, you're far right.
Coach Beard, good afternoon. What role does data analytics play in planning for the game, planning for the defense? How much do you use it?
Yeah, analytics is real. We all saw that Moneyball movie years ago, and everybody's mind started kind of going crazy. And yeah, it's real. There's so much information out there. I mean, I'm blessed to work with a staff that kind of organizes and prioritizes some of that stuff. So by the time it hits my desk, actually I don't have a desk. By the time it hits my round coffee table, it's been centralized to a point where I can get a lot out of it. But I mean, it's out there. You want to know how a guy shoots on Tuesday nights versus Saturday nights, it's there. You want to know what a guy's percentage is in warm-ups, what he ate for the pregame meal, how he plays on his birthday. I mean, it's out there, so it's almost too much. But it's a part of the game. We're using it more than ever. There's a lot of numbers in scouting reports. And it's not just the opponent. It's our team, too. We're always doing internal scouts on our team, evaluating our team. So it's real. Anything you guys are hearing about analytics out there, most things trickle down from the NBA and basketball, and this is no different.
Jeff in front right.
Just the way Jalen talks about being a guy that wants to embrace the grind, it's about the process part of it. That's what he liked about you and building that relationship. How unique is that to him? Just in terms of kids, everybody wants to talk about the results. Everybody forgets about the process, but for a kid who's a process oriented, how unique was that in the process with him?
Jalen's a smart guy. He's got a real asset and a real advantage, a blessing. I don't know what you call it, luck, of his family setup. Mom and dad, good people, truth tellers, realistic people. They love their sons. His brother's an athlete. His dad played college sports at a high level. So he's got an advantage with his family structure. His high school coach, really good coach. He's had great trainers of individual instruction, guys that really know what they're doing. Not guys that just throw out the cones and pop it on YouTube, guys that really dug in and helped Jalen with his game. We benefit from the work those guys did. Played for a big-time program in the summer, so he's got a lot of advantages coming in. He's a smart guy. He's got that personality, as you guys see. He's saying all the right things, and I believe in his heart he means what he says. There'll be some adversity for him this year like there is every young player in college basketball, period, The one thing I can say about Jalen confidently, you can put it in stone. The guy loves the game. He doesn't like it. He loves it. He's addicted to it. He puts in as much time as any player I've ever coached as a young guy, and I've coached some great ones. I'm not saying he puts in more time than you, Davide Moretti, but he puts in as much time as you. And so Jalen loves the game. He's addicted to it. And when talent intersects with addiction of the game. I used to say love of the game, but the more I think about it, it's addicted, man. I love a few things. I'm addicted to only a couple. And Jalen's like that.
Chris in the back here.
You mentioned that he'll go through some adversity, and I feel like part of that adversity can be being such a young guy on such a veteran team with so much experience. How do you balance that with him? How are you seeing him deal with all of that?
Just clear communication. So making sure that all the players, including Jalen, understand the expectations, what's expected of you, what you have to do to have a role, to increase a role, to have an opportunity, to increase your opportunity, the timeline that comes with. You know, in our society, it's like instant gratification. You know, lose a few pounds instead of working, go take this magic pill for $29.99. You know, that doesn't work. You know, you got to work, and I think Jalen understands that. And Jalen's a talented guy. You know, the narrative isn't next year. I mean, he's got an opportunity right now. He will play minutes in our season opener on Tuesday. We play on Tuesday. He will play. What's the day? He will play season minutes, you know, on Tuesday on the opener. And so he's got an opportunity this year. So I don't mind talking about his future and all and the patience and the veteran team, all that's real. But also, he's got an opportunity right now. I mean, he's got a chance to compete for minutes on this team. He's a talented young player.
Joe in front, please.
I guess, can you take us, if on a typical Tuesday, Saturday week, can you take us through what a week of the Texas basketball program looks like in practice and meetings, that type of thing? Like what the schedule looks like?
When's the game at?
Tuesday, 7 p.m., Saturday, 3:30 p.m.
Yeah, Tuesday, we're going to try to hope to get the season off to a start that we can all be proud of. You know, it's $10 tickets. It's a doubleheader, us and the women. It's going to be awesome. Encourage everybody to come in, kind of general seating, right? So season ticket holders got to get here really early to get your seat. Support the women's team. You know, if we have a sold-out student section in that game, we got the party at the tower. I appreciate you guys kind of pubbing that out there, and if we can make one strong push on that, I greatly appreciate you guys. I'd consider it a personal favor, and I'll pay you back. But if we sell out that student section in the lower bowl, we're going to throw the students a party. That's going to be fun. So that's Tuesday. Tuesday night, we'll work the film hard. When you play on Saturday, that gives you Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so that's a 3-day prep. So we'll either go 3-day prep or we might give the guys a day off and go 2-day prep. The Saturday game's a road game, so you're looking at maybe one practice in Austin, then we'll travel. So that's always a challenging thing, you know, what to do here and then what to do when we get there. And so that's kind of the deal. In both games, we got to try to score more points than the other team.
Brian in front.
Chris, about season ticket sales, what kind of conversations have you had with folks when you call them up and go, hey, you know, why are your seats empty?
Haven't done that here. The plan is don't have to make those phone calls because Longhorn Nation kind of hears the call. You know, again, trying to be clear here with people. I think once you have a relationship with people and they trust you, you can kind of say everything. The challenge, one of many challenges first-year coaching is you don't maybe have that relationship yet with your fan base. You just start off with a lot of trust that we're all in this together. The message has never been to come to every game. That's kind of unrealistic. We live in the United States of America. There's a lot of good stuff going on out there. People have families, church, school, kids. But just a personal request to the fan base is, you know, on the nights that you can't come to the games, please take the time and effort to make sure somebody sits in your seats. And I don't think that's too much to ask. I hope that doesn't offend people, but that's the message. You know, donate the tickets back to these people. The best thing to do is give your tickets to somebody and make sure your seats are filled. Mac Brown said it best: get here early, wear orange, be loud, stay late. Everything Mac said. That's what I'm saying. You know. So that's the thing with the fan base, and hopefully we'll earn their trust over time, or we can, you know, ask them for more things. But we start by just asking for one thing. Please make sure your seats are filled. It's not going to be a one-way relationship. In return, we're going to give you a great product. We're going to play really hard. We're going to play the right way. We're going to represent the school. Might make a mistake from time to time. Everybody does, but our hearts are going to be in the right place as we build this team.
Terry, far right.
So, Coach, you've come to a couple football games to support Sarkeesian and the Texas Longhorns football program. How special is that? And have players and coaches indicated they're going to come watch? I would imagine they would. Basketball.
Yeah, I think so. I don't want to speak for anybody else, but it's one thing that makes Texas a special athletic department. It's almost like a family. I'm in the early stages of forming some friendships with some of the other coaches and people that work in the athletic department here at the Irwin Center, and it really is. I think sometimes when you think of Texas and Austin and everything, but really at the core of this thing, in my opinion, it's still a college town. It's still a small campus. The 40 acres is special, and I think CDC and Sean and Sarah and everybody, they do a great job. CP, they do a great job of making this a family. So I think a part of a family is we support each other. You know, I've enjoyed supporting volleyball and baseball. And I'm trying to get out there to soccer. Are they playing Round Rock for a championship here? I'm actually trying to work that into my day to get out there. And I know our players enjoy that. So, yeah, we feel like we do our part supporting other teams, and we try our best. We're all busy, but it's important to us. And I anticipate the same thing. I've had some great emails, notes, just phone calls from some of the other teams this week as the season approaches, wishing us luck and saying they'll be here to support us, and that means the world to me. It's a family, and I think it starts with CDC and how he builds this thing. I'm proud to be a small part of it, men's basketball.
Chris in the back, please.
With the season opener coming up on Tuesday, where do you think your team, obviously it's always a work in progress throughout the season, but are they where you want them to be coming into the season opener on Tuesday? Do you think you can get there between now and then?
Yeah, I think as a coach, I've never met a coach that knows what he's doing, that's pleased, or you always wish you had one more practice or one more possession, or I guess on that Monday night, if you're in that locker room where everybody's celebrating, I guess you can say, man, I'm pleased with this season. But other than that, I'm just not quite wired like that. I've been in that locker room a few times too, not just at the Division I level. We were there in Myrtle Beach in that locker room too. But yeah, I think we are a work in progress. I think we're going in the right direction. I'm ready to tell you that our guys are going to play extremely hard. But we just got a long ways to go with execution. So Tuesday's the first step for us, and then certainly, it gets real pretty quick.
Ryan in front, please.
Going back to environment in there, I mean, have you personally talked with DJ Mel yet?
I have.
Okay, well, I think this is important because what kind of music do you want him playing? What kind of environment do you want? Because me personally, I thought it was pretty nice the other night. It was a nice change. And what do you want coming over the speakers? What do you want people doing? What do you want the Irwin Center to be on home games?
Yeah, DJ's a talented guy. I've seen him in like 2 or 3 different settings since I've been back in Austin, so that's awesome. I've had people come up to me and tell me they enjoy his role, not only our band, our cheer, our pom, the in-game promotions, but I hear a lot about the DJ too. So I think we've got all the stuff in unison. We just got to unite it, right? We got to unite the family and unite the game day experience. So, yeah, I mean, the music deal is always a question, right? I've had jobs where, are we playing the music for the people on the first row? Are we playing the music for the student section? Or are we playing the music for the players out there performing? Or, are we playing the music for Scotty Mack or CDC? Or, I don't know. So I would tell you kind of my theme of life is diversity and variety. And, I would love to hear Willie Nelson backed by Roddy Ricch, and then maybe a little, country after that. So that's a good question. Appreciate you asking. My marketing mind's starting to shift, but I've gotten away from that. I think variety and diversity, something that everybody can enjoy, and then maybe something that everybody can learn too. Texas fans, maybe you come to a game and learn a new song too.
Time for 2 last ones. Jeff in the back, please.
Coach, you mentioned a few things that I don't want to say are going to keep you up at night, but that are going to be in the front of your mind. What's something that you are absolutely certain on the court this team can do going into the season? You know that this should not be an issue.
Yeah, that's a good question. I know we have enough talent. A lot of coaches shy away from saying that, but I don't. One shot at this life deal. So, yeah, we're not trying to scramble for a last-minute trade. We like our players. That'll never be a deal. So this season won't have an asterisk next to it. It might come down to some different things, but it won't be talent. We've got good guard play. We got good interior. We got athleticism. Sometimes I worry a little bit about this or that, but overall, we like our team. And as coaches, that's not always the case. I've had some other teams that I loved, but you go into the season thinking, man, everything's going to have to go right. But this year we have the talent. Y'all don't need me to tell you that. We got good players. Staff did a great job this spring and summer in recruiting. So that's a good question. I haven't thought of that. I'd love to get to the point where I say I know our toughness is going to be there, but I don't know that right now. I know our poise is going to be there. I don't know that right now. So there's not a lot I can deliver on. I can tell you I have a lot of confidence in our guys, and I have faith that it'll happen. But do I know it? No. But I do know we have enough talent to compete.
Hey, Coach, back on the music thing, what artists have you heard the players listening to that you've kind of started to like now?
It's a little too early for that because when I really get into that, it's a good question. Road trips. So on road trips, I'll hear a song. Hey, who sings that? You know, like I'll never forget. Hey, who is that? And then Brandon Francis says, Roddy Ricch. I like that guy. And so now I listen to a lot of Roddy Ricch. So I do get a lot of my music variety and diversity from the players. But we've only taken that one quick road trip to the closed scrimmage, and we haven't spent a lot of time on the bus and planes and all that yet. The rotation right now is just it's okay. It's not great. Our head manager Brooks Toothman does a great job. Him and Rich, and but the music is just okay right now. There hasn't been one yet where I'm like, man, what's that?
What about the practice playlist? You guys listen to music during practice?
Yeah, the whole setup is basically everybody in the organization gets to throw a couple tunes in there. That's where the variety comes from. Players get, I think, 3 pops. Coaches get 1. I think me and our team might get 2, so that's why you might go from Merle Haggard to Notorious B.I.G. and then back to, you know, Little Yachty or whatever. So it's all over the place. Then, you know, I miss people that have been in our program in the past. You know, I miss Mark Adams around here every once in a while. And, you know, we always knew what his song was because it'd be like a '60s rock band or like a 70s disco. And we're like, man, who put this on there? And then you could see Coach over there kind of dancing. So you always kind of know where it's coming from. Jarrett Culver had a little gospel in there. But this year's team, it's too early to tell. But circle back on that question. That's a good one.
Joe, last quickie, please.
What's the biggest celebration you've thrown when you've landed a recruit, and does it match jumping out of a plane?
I have never jumped out of a plane. Never really wanted to jump out of a plane. But I've recruited some guys that I would do anything for, including jump out of a plane. So I respect Eric on that one. Yeah, so those are always special times, you know, when a recruit tells you, hey, Coach, I'm going to trust you. I'm coming. Just a lot of excitement on both ends. It's almost just kind of a special moment in a relationship. So it's that time where we kind of know. Then on signing day, you know, it's also another pop because it just feels it. But there's nothing like getting that phone call from a young man and his family saying, hey, Coach, we made our decision. We feel great about it. We trust you. Let's do this. That's special. Celebrations over the years, I don't know. I kind of miss the junior college days where there wasn't the NCAA rules and stuff. You know, in JUCO, if somebody committed to you, I think you could kind of, you know, talk about it right then, or at least nobody was listening anyway. So nobody. But this deal, you always got to be careful. You know, I got what everybody does these gifts and stuff that, you know, I don't understand all that. NCAA's got a lot of rules. I don't know why we can't just talk about it.
Got to ask about Mike Boynton. You know, what do you think of Oklahoma State basically getting shut out of the Big 12 tournament and postseason? And frankly, what it says about where we are as a profession and a sport, where you help the NCAA and they turn around and whack you.
Yeah, I'll say 2 things on that, Brian. I'll be really clear. One, I really don't comment on other people's teams and stuff because I don't know enough about it, including teams here on campus. You know, I'll never be talking about Vic's team. I love them, I support them, but I'm not in that locker room. I don't know, so I'm only going to comment on our team. But number 2, and I'll proudly say, you know, Mike's a friend. I have a lot of respect for Mike Boynton, how he goes about things. We've competed against each other. He's about as real as a guy that I know in college basketball. We're not day-to-day, let's go golf and vacation friends, but we are guys that are connected, and I have a lot of respect for him. And I support him. You know, I can say that confidently. I support Mike.
Thanks all. Appreciate
Thanks.
your time.